Welcome to Thriving in the Age of Disruption with Dr. Ramesh. To wrap up our podcast Season 3 today, Dr. Ramesh meets with Dr. Huong Nguyen, a distinguished medical doctor and researcher from Vietnam, who shares a journey of combining Eastern tradition with modern Western medical practices to create a holistic approach to healthcare. With decades of research, Dr. Huong offers profound insights into treating complex diseases such as Parkinson's and stroke, addressing not only the biomedical but also the mental, emotional, and social aspects of a patient's well-being. Dr. Huong's philosophy extends beyond individual treatment to building sustainable healthcare communities. She speaks passionately about co-founding the Dinh Huang Institute of Medicine, where she mentors students and integrates cutting-edge technology with Eastern wisdom. Her commitment to education, entrepreneurship, and holistic healthcare underscores the importance of collaboration both locally and internationally to improve patient outcomes and advance medical research.
Welcome to the Thriving in the Age of Disruption podcast series, Dr. Huang. We met some time ago and I've been intrigued by your background and experience. I wanted to have a chat with you about your life. And so perhaps we can start off with you sharing with us a little bit about yourself.
Yes. Hi, Dr. Ramesh. It's really nice for me to be in your podcast. My name is Huong. The full name is Nguyễn Thị Thanh Hương, but in Vietnam, we usually call as Huong or Dr. Huong. I graduated from Hanoi Medical University 26 years ago. After graduation, I also worked for Hanoi Medical University in physiology department as a lecturer and researcher. Working in Hanoi Medical University, I also feel that I need to develop myself in the professional channel. So I look for international master degree in Thailand in Mahidol University. I focus on the aspect of medicine, and I found that very interesting when we see the patient in holistic way, not only in terms of biology or physiology, but also in terms of social aspect, the person as a whole. After 1 year in Thailand, I come back to Vietnam and continue working in physiology department until now. But then I also think that I need to work more for my PhD to understand the disease phenomenon. Vietnam or Asian is different compared to European or American. We found out in my master thesis that the disease model postmenopausal woman in Vietnam is very much different compared to other countries, especially compared to European or Caucasian women. So that motivated me to go further for study and develop my PhD. Then I choose the Karolinska Institute in Sweden for my PhD. And at the same time, with the study in Sweden, but I still continue working in Hanoi Medical University because I follow the sandwich model, both working and studying. And I collect the data in Vietnam and do the lab work and defense in Sweden. So I finished my PhD in 2012. After I got my PhD, I also would like to go further with research. So I found the Dinh Huang Institute of Medicine with the hope that I can support other students or other young doctors who are the younger generation go abroad to study like me and come back to serve the country in the better way. Now I also have a Dinh Huang Institute of Medicine where we focus on the breakthrough by combination between Western and Eastern medicine.
Oh, lovely. Thank you so much. It's really exciting for me because I have with me today a doctor, an academic, a researcher, someone who's an entrepreneur as well. And so you've gone through all these different phases in your journey. I feel that one of the key mindsets that is necessary in today's world of disruption is an entrepreneurial mindset. And when I listen to you and your journey on how you started off studying to do medicine and then how you did your research and you started your institutes and you continue now with your research, it's clear for me that you are someone who has an entrepreneurial mindset. And I define an entrepreneurial mindset as one where you are being resourceful. That is, if you have a problem, you know how to define the right problem and solving it. Two is that you're able to deal with uncertainty and manage risk. And three is actually that you're creating value, not just for yourself, but for others, and not just financial, but also non financial value. So when you look at your own journey, how is it that you were always looking at what's next and what's next, like this entrepreneurial mindset? Share a little bit about what can you see about yourself and what inspired you and supported you to navigate this journey.
When I grow up, I just live the simple life. But I really like to help people. For example, if I see the children nearby, they could not speak foreign language, then I just call them to my house and teach them how to speak the foreign language. When I come back from Thailand, I also see that, when I go out of the country, I see so much new things and interesting. And I come back to my university, I also start sharing that with my students that if we study everything together in English, then we can learn new things from reading books, from the literature reviews, from the new study. So we just form the small group of students with 4 students at that time. And then we start sharing what is interesting together. So we start the journey with the FSH, mean Friendship and Science for Health. With the first 4 students, we expand the group into 8 students and expanded every year. So now we form FSH community with not more than 100, but we support each other when they are undergraduate.
As you're speaking, I can hear how, number one, you're motivated by wanting to make a difference or help people. And so that's what had you reach out to, whether it is the children in your neighborhood or your classmates. And number two is that you are also someone who can see new things as opportunities and you learn them and you come back to apply them. So that's an interesting entrepreneurial trait because entrepreneurs are good at spotting opportunities and in being able to apply that for the situation that they're in. And the last piece that you talked about was your ability to collaborate with people and how you develop that network and community from 4 students to about 100 students. As you look now in your own journey of running your medical center, can you share a little bit more?
Actually, we have the Dinh Hoang Institute of Medicine, where we focus on the breakthrough finding by combination between Eastern and Western, not only medicine, but also Eastern and Western mindset. So after 12 years, up to date, we can have a certain core technology to deal with difficult to treat disease. It means that the disease either difficult to diagnose or if we can diagnose, but we cannot have a solution to deal with the disease. For example, like Parkinson or ALS,
Mm.
even we have a solution, but it's not yet optimum for that patient. For example, we already have a certain way to deal with the patient with stroke, but still a lot of stroke patients, they still not yet get that optimum treatment and still get a lot of paralyzed difficulty in life. We deal with such difficult case and we find the solution to help those patients who could not get benefit from the available therapy, from the available solution, from the available medicine. We also set up the PTH medical clinic where we can help those patients directly get their life back. Apart from the institute where we can give the training, where we can do the research, but we also have the DTH medical clinic where we can give the treatment for the patient with difficult to treat disease.
So your treatment is holistic because part of it is dealing with their mindset about their own recovery and the treatment. And then part
Yeah.
of it is the challenge of the available medical interventions right now for their disease.
Yes, this is a combination between many things.
A lot of people also suffer from diabetes, and that requires a lifestyle change. And
Yes,
in fact, that's the hardest for people to do. And so I guess being able to address it from that holistic view and to deal with their readiness to embrace the change that they need to make is also an important part of a medical intervention.
yes.
And how big is your team?
We have two co-founders for Dinh Tiên Hoàng Institute of Medicine. That
Mm.
is me and Dr. Hà Việt Trung. But then we have a lot of other follow in the Institute of Medicine. We have a chairman who is the ex-vice minister of science and technology. When he see our potential, he support us very much as the advisor. But then
Mm.
later on, we have him as our chairman. Yes. And also in the institute, we have a different strong research group. I responsible for the research group related to osteoporosis,
Oh.
fracture. That is my PhD in Sweden, but also I responsible for develop the new technology in difficult to treat disease. Yeah, and other colleagues focus on different subject like diabetes. We have another group with cardiovascular disease and we have another group with neurology.
Oh, wow. It's so very extensive then.
We have the team leader. So, for example, in the research group, I am the team leader. In my team, I have PhD students. For example, last year, I have three PhD already graduate from Hà Nội Medical School who take part in the study in Dinh Tiên Hoàng Institute of Medicine for their research. But
Mm.
they are Hà Nội Medical PhD students who are Dinh Tiên Hoàng Institute of Medicine and Hà Nội Medical University in collaboration. Also, we have a network of experts in other countries, like in Sweden, in Estonia, in England.
And they
Yeah.
support with the exchange of information and data and best practices.
So that is how we build up the team. So apart from the PhD student, we also have a master student, we have an undergraduate student. We support individually for
Mm.
students to customize their need. For example, in Dinh Tiên Hoàng Institute of Medicine, when we support for undergraduate students, we build their capacity from zero to know how to do the research and then actually participate in the research and also learn how to get the scholarship to go abroad and how to choose the best university in medicine to study. In Dinh Tiên Hoàng Institute of Medicine, we can help for a certain number of undergraduate students after they graduate, they can get scholarship to other country. For example, we have a student got scholarship to John Hopkins and also to Harvard University.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really great. So thank you for sharing this with me. When I met you, you had shared with me that your grandparents were entrepreneurs and so were your parents. And do you find that was also part of how you developed this entrepreneurial mindset?
Yeah, that is a very interesting question. Maybe I got that heritage from my grandparents because when I was born, I just thought I am a lecturer, I am the medical doctor. But when it come up how to transfer our research result to help more patients, how to transfer the research capacity to other students so they can get the scholarship like me or the patient, they can get the therapy in a better price and in better condition, then that lead me to the way to be now we call entrepreneur in Sweden. After my defense, my supervisor told me that, oh, Huang, your defense is so nice. And I found out that you have an instinct as an entrepreneur. At that time, I still not realize what does it mean. But now I understand, oh, she's so great that she see that in me. And when I also look back our family life, I see that, oh, my grandparents, both from my mother's side and from my father's side, I used to be great entrepreneur and support a lot for the country during the wartime. Yeah.
That's right. So you grew up watching all that. You picked those things up, and that's in your mindset.
Yeah, probably.
Yes. One of the key things that entrepreneurs deal with every day is a setback or things not going according to plan or sometimes failure. So I feel that another important mindset to have in this age of disruption is what I call as a crisis ready mindset. That means if something happens that you don't expect or don't want, you're ready and you're able to deal with it. So when you look back in your own life, how you deal with crisis and what do you think have been the practices that you do, whether it's meditation or having a affirmation where you have positive self-talk that allowed you to always make sure that even when you have a setback or failure, you get back and you're back in the game?
When I look back, I see that actually the difficulty or the unwanted things all always happen. The way we deal with that is very important. For example, when I start my PhD, before that is a collaboration project between Hanoi Medical University and Karolinska Institute. And we already got the funding. But in my study, I need to build up the reference data for Vietnamese bone density with the DEXA machine. And you know that at 2003, the whole Vietnam has a very rare DEXA machine because the machine is very expensive. So when I found the DEXA machine in one big hospital, and I'm very happy because, oh, I have a tool and I can establish the reference data for Vietnam. And then we can have a accurate diagnosis. But
Yes.
when I meet the director of the hospital, he told me that, no, I cannot let you do this study because I would like to save that data for my daughter. She also could use that data for her PhD. I know that his daughter is my friend. So I just called her, oh, my dear friend, your father would like to save that data for you to do PhD. So could you please tell me, in our country, do we have any supplier for this machine? Then I could talk to him to see is there any other DEXA machine in the country that I can access. And then she gave me the phone number and then I called him and I find even the better machine updated model for my study because we get better things when we deal with the study. And later on, actually, my friend, the daughter of the doctor's hospital, used one of my data for her PhD, not the data in the machine, the older one. When we deal with the difficult, we find a better way and we also can tighten the relationship with
Closer
our
relationship.
closer relationship with our friends and people, and we do the better things. So I think that when the difficult come, we don't need to be worried of that, but we can collaborate with people to find the better solution. We really got better solution when we see things in different way.
So it's so beautiful. You have called out two important points. And one is to have openness to view any crisis or a setback as an opportunity
Yes.
because it can give you something better at the end
Yes.
of the day, right? So that's
Yes.
number one. And it's an attitude of mind. And number two is that you also talked about how in the moment when you are navigating the crisis, if you can have a collaboration and you can
Yes.
communicate openly, you can actually get a better solution and you can create better connection with people.
Yes.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think it'll be really very valuable for people to hear that example in how they can deal with crisis. Let me
Yes.
just move on to a new topic. What is spirituality for you? And where are you in that journey?
For my philosophy, I really believe in the cause and effect. If we do the good things, I was born in the family that my auntie follows the Buddhism. So when she practiced the Buddhism during her time, because we stay very close to each other,
Yes.
so I just naturally influenced by Buddhism.
And how do you practice that on a day-to-day basis?
In Vietnam, in own family, we have ancestor
Worship, yes.
Yeah, and in a certain family, we also have Buddha in the worship. In my family, we also have a separate place for the ancestor and separate place for Buddha worship. Yeah.
Thank you. It's really the philosophy of do good and good will come to you is really empowering. And I can see that's what you practice on a day to day basis. So then what about living a simple life? What is a simple life for you?
People think of high building and car and
Mhm.
luxury life. But I think that actually in life, we just need enough food to eat. We need the clean air for breathing. And
Yeah.
we need to have clean water. And then we can be alive and spend time to think how we can help other people, how we can have the peace in our life, and how we can do the good thing to make life better, to make society better. The simple life is very simple.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
When we boiled it down to having food to eat, clean air, and clean water, we can see that actually our life is settled. Then we can
Yeah.
pay attention to others.
Yes.
Because in this universe there is us and others and the other beings like the animals.
Yes.
Yeah. So thriving is like a space where it's the opposite of surviving.
Yeah.
Surviving is like you have no space. You're just restricted. Thriving is flourishing. So if you look at thriving, what are you doing when you are thriving?
How we can bring the good thing
That's right.
and spread the good thing
To others.
to others.
That's true. And next question I have is that everyone talks about sustainability. And when they talk about sustainability, they talk about climate crisis, clean water, clean air. But in our work, we focus a lot on sustainability being the ongoing thriving of a living system. And we as a human being are the first living system, and it's our mindset. It's like how we look at life to allow us to be sustainable or not. So, in your work and in your own life, how do you look at sustainability?
I also very much agree with you that the sustainability must come from us first. The first thing, our life need to be sustainable. And in order to be sustainable, I think the simple life is a very important concept. Because if we think that we need very limited resource to be alive, then we have a lot of space to do the good things. And when we do the good thing, it doesn't mean that we need a lot of money or we need a lot of energy. If we just do very simple thing with people around us and then spread it like a snowballing, then that is a sustainable life. So if we see the sustainable life in the way that we bring the concept of a simple life, then we can save a lot of things for the world rather than focus on we need to earn a lot of money, we need a car, we need a building, we need many things. But that can cause a lot of waste,
Yes,
a lot of
that's
waste,
right.
unnecessary. So I think one of the important thing is we bring the simple life concept and healthy life concept and happy life concept. And for the healthy, for the happy, and for the simple, we actually don't need so much other resources. And that is a sustainable life, sustainable world I could see.
Wow, that is really profound. I really like how you described sustainability and linked all of that back to simple life, healthy life, and happy life.
Yes.
Yes, it makes sense. I'm going to ask you some very quick questions. And the first one is, what's your favorite book?
My favorite book during the TED holiday. I
Yes.
brought a lot of new books because now I really look at how to transfer the technology to the society. The previous person who do bring the research result to the society to see which way they go and how difficulty they could face and how they overcome. Yeah, so that is my main interest at this moment.
I got it. Thank you. And what's your favorite travel destination?
20 years ago, my dream is to travel around the world. And after I traveled to many destinations in 5 continents, now my real destination is stay in Vietnam and have people all around the world come to Vietnam.
Oh, that's very good. That's excellent.
Yeah.
And if you can have dinner with anyone, who would it be?
Anyone. I always like to have dinner with my family and my mom.
Really great. And if you can have any superpower, what do you think you would like to have?
I would like to have the superpower that people live happily and healthy.
If you can give it to them in a tablet, right? I'm sure a lot of people want you to have that superpower so they can live happily and healthily. And what's the best advice that you've ever received?
In my life, I must thank many people because
Mm.
the people give me many good advice. One of the advice from my father that whatever you do is okay, but you need to be independent.
That's really interesting. Was there any worst advice that you received?
I have one habit that normally I don't remember the bad thing or the unwanted things.
That's a good habit to live a simple life. Don't remember the bad things.
Yeah, so when people ask me that question, I really could not get
Remember.
it out of my mind.
I really got that. Yes. I've come to the end of our formal discussion of this podcast, but I wanted to ask one last question. So tell us a little bit more. Do you have children? Are you married? And so that we can get to know you a little bit more.
Yes, I have a husband and
Yes.
two children.
Okay.
My son is in the third year of university and he study IT. And my daughter now is in the class 9. And this year she who has to take the national exam into the class 10.
Okay. Really great. You talk about your grandparents. What is the memory that you have about them being entrepreneurs?
From my mother's side, my grandparents have a national historical heritage
Mm.
because that house used for my uncle Ho Chi Minh stay during the wartime. So now our family donate that for the country to be a national historical heritage. And for my father's side, I could see those places used to belong to our family around Hoang Kim Lake.
Ah,
Yeah,
yes.
many things in the past. But later on, we also donate to the country to become the public place
Yes.
to serve for the country. Those things can be in my eyes every day.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes. Thank
and
you
I
for
think
sharing that.
yeah,
The
that is
memories of
the
your grandparents and their legacy.
yes, yeah. So I think that they are really wonderful because they not do it for themselves, not do it for our family, but they can donate on those kind of things for the country during
Mm.
the difficult time.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
we are very happy.
Yes, you are very happy. And I think that's an important spirit to keep alive
Yes,
as we progress now, right?
yes,
And Vietnam becomes more and more prosperous, and our people also develop. To keep in mind that we can also contribute to the public even when things are not like during wartime, like in good times. What's the best advice that you've ever received?
yes. Whatever I do today, I still think that I can donate that things for the society.
Mm.
Because when we die, we cannot bring that with us.
Correct. Well said. Dr. Huang, thank you so much for being here with me this morning to do the podcast. I really appreciated the opportunity to look into how Vietnam culture and tradition has influenced you in who you have become and the work that you are doing. So it's really inspiring. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Ramesh. I'm really happy to be in your podcast.
Thank you, Dr. Ramesh and Dr. Huang, for your thoughts on the entrepreneurial mindset, what holistic healthcare truly means, and how it can transform patient outcomes. Whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur or investor, looking for inspiration to overcome the challenges in your life, or simply curious about the stories that shape the change makers of our world, this podcast series is your gateway to a world of insight and inspiration. Be sure to subscribe to the Thriving in the Age of Disruption podcast or follow Dr. Ramesh on LinkedIn and other social media so you too become a part of Dr. Ramesh's Thriving Network. And of course, see you next month where Dr. Ramesh will kick off our brand new Season 4 of Heart to Heart Talks with inspiring changemakers from all around the world, especially Asia. You can look forward to hearing from a leading advocate for women in Singapore, Ms. Koh Yan Ping, CEO of the Singapore Council of Women's Organizations, SCWO, who champions for the empowerment of women to make a positive impact on society.